Let's talk about a film that I watched for the first time ever, and a perfect time to watch it, My Bloody Valentine. Now I know that this has just been released on Steelbook from Scream Factory, which I am going to get, but luckily this was also available to stream for free on Amazon Prime, and that's where I was lucky enough to watch it, and I have wanted to watch this obviously for a long time. It's a slasher classic, and it's Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. My Bloody Valentine from 1981. Um, I liked it. Well, I mean, what's not to like about an 80s slasher? Um, in the era where all the best 80s slashers came, basically. 1981. Friday the 13th, you know. You're all caught up, I'm sure. Starting off with this sexy scene with this sexy woman and this guy in a full-on mining suit, with your gas mask and trench like rubber coat and helmet with a light on it, and it looks like they're about to have sex, but then the chick is murdered by him leaning a rock pick against the wall and then slamming that chick right into it. So before the credits roll. So opening up the slasher to a very slashery start. Um, this is a Canadian film too. This was all filmed in Nova Scotia, and when I say all, I mean I'm 99% sure that it was all filmed there. So that's pretty cool. It definitely feels Canadian in a lot of parts, especially when they are drinking at the bar. The bar feels like a Canadian bar to a T. All they drink is Moosehead throughout the whole film. Moosehead is a famous Canadian beer, and it's nice seeing that. um, it's always nice to see, a film that kind of feels, even though I'm in Ontario, not Nova Scotia, still feels like it's kind of in my own backyard. You know what I mean? When something is close enough that it feels close to home, it's nice to see that in films. So, um, yeah, and then as the film progresses, you're introduced to all these characters who are minors, obviously, and in between work, they basically just like to hang out and drink at the bar, and play pool and just party and have a good time. And because Valentine's Day is coming up, there's this Valentine's dance that's being planned, and there's also a like town urban legend about this guy who 20 years before, um, was working in the mines with these four other people, and they were supposed to be brought up by the two managers, I'm pretty sure. And the managers were just in a rush to get to this Valentine's Day dance, that they were dumbasses and they just didn't give a shit, and they forgot to check the methane gases down where these five guys were working, and they just kind of pieced out, and then there was an explosion, and these five guys were basically buried alive. And during a 6 week search, they finally found four of them dead and found one of the miners named Harry Warden alive. Obviously, he was surviving through cannibalism and all kinds of other horrors. And they saved him. They brought him up. He needed like almost a year of mental institution. And the next year, during the next Valentine's Day dance, he he went to murder the two people who buried all those guys alive, including himself, and made him resort to cannibalism and spend 6 weeks underneath a pile of rubble. I think that would make any human being go crazy. Uh, so he goes to murder the two guys who were responsible, and he carves out their hearts, and he puts them in little Valentine's Day present boxes and mails them all bloody to the dance, and says if there's ever another Valentine's Day dance, I will be here every year to basically kill everybody involved with it. So that's the legend of Harry Warden, and the town wants to make this dance happen anyway because this happened 20 years ago and nobody believes that Harry Warden even exists until they start getting Valentine's cards, which, again, just like I was saying in my Valentine review, really cool poetry, very talented poetry, very sick, twisted-minded poetry. It happened once, it happened twice. Cancel the dance or it'll happen thrice. Stuff like that. It's pretty neat. So they do cancel the dance, which is smart. I mean, you're getting death threats. Might as well cancel the dance. But the kids want to just throw a party of their own for Valentine's, and they end up doing so. And it's just another slasher where people are getting picked off one by one, and there's some cool sex scenes, and there's this jealous rivalry between these two guys named Axel and TJ, or I think his name is Jerry as well, but I just go by TJ because they call him that a lot as a nickname in the film, and it's just way easier. So TJ and Axel are fighting over this girl named Sarah, and they're basically fighting over her through the whole movie. And yeah, they're just like hotheads kind of thing, and she's getting sick of both of them. She's kind of back and forth between them because one of them ended up moving away to, I'm not sure if it was war or the military or something, but he was gone for a while, and that's why she kind of started seeing the other one. But then he comes back and she has stronger feelings for the one that left anyway, so but eventually she's just like, you know what, you guys are just annoying the piss out of me. I don't want either of you. But yeah, they continue fighting over this girl pretty much throughout the duration of the film until the third act, where again another idiot named Hollis decides to, because all the girls want to go down into the mines to check it out, and he decides to, you know, give them a tour because that's not dangerous or anything. And then these two guys, Axel and TJ, get a get like they notice that this happened, and then they want to go save her, and they kind of end up putting their differences aside for a little bit and kind of working together to go save this this girl and the rest of the crew that went down into the mines. Also knowing that people are starting to get picked off by somebody, that something dangerous might happen, and it might not just be the mines collapsing. It might be some psychopath in a miner's suit picking people off. He's scary looking. I like the villain in this one. He's very scary looking. There's a scene where one guy basically sets up a fake like mannequin wearing the mine suit behind a door, where every time the door is open he'll go like this with the mannequin will go like this with like a weapon. And I don't know what, like, I must have missed it because I don't know the purpose of why he would want to pull a prank like that, because it's a pretty mean-spirited prank with all that's going on and all the legends and shit. But it's funny because he'll close the door and then he's testing and he's like, oh, that's funny, and then he closes it again and he's like, oh, that's funny, and then at one point he opens the door and there's the actual killer over there and he gets friggin' knife right through him. It's a good kill. The prank killer is how I how I refer to it in my notes. There's a scene where, again, the killer likes to carve hearts out of people. You know, Valentine's Day hearts. There's a scene where a heart is boiled, and it looks kind of sick because it literally looks like a cooked heart. I wonder if they actually used an animal heart to boil. Yeah, there's a scene where a woman is also killed, and it looks like she's used as a human fountain because there's like water coming out of her mouth, and she's obviously dead. But you kind of see her from a weird angle, so I wonder what the killer basically did to her for that kill to go the way it was. And yeah, the mine scene, like the third act where it all takes place, you know, underground, is a cool location because it's claustrophobic and it's maze-like. So the killer is just chasing everybody around and picking them off like little rats. And then this film ends with such a good song. During the credits, it's actually called "The Ballad of Harry Warden," and it's by Paul Zaza. And as soon as it came on, it literally reminded me of something like Dio, like Ronnie James Dio, mixed with a little bit of like Celtic rock. It's cool. Like, for anybody who's seen the film, obviously you've heard the song and probably love it yourself. But it really feels like Dio-ish, like that that light acoustic power metal style, but a little bit more like folky. I love it. It's a perfect song that fits the film absolutely, like, really well. There's a kill. There's a kill. I forgot to mention this one where a woman is put in a dryer and she's completely burnt to a crisp. Yeah, that was pretty wild too. Yeah, it's another slasher for the books. I mean, early '80s at slasher prime, and you can't beat holiday horror films. Horror films that are themed to holidays are just they're a treat. They're a yearly treat. They give you a reason to watch a horror movie on a holiday. So grab a Valentine, go find one, bring her on a date or him, and watch some horror movies. I recommend Valentine, and I recommend My Bloody Valentine. That's about it. Like I said, I don't have the film. I watched it on Prime. It's free right now if you have Amazon Prime, so why not take advantage of that? And I will be getting the Steelbook because I really enjoyed the film, and I really want to watch the remake. I hear the remake is some people like it a lot better, but I hear it's, if anything, just as good. So yeah, that's my review and that's my take. My Bloody Valentine from 1981. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to hear my voice, and if you like my reviews, and I will be back for some more reviews. So until next time, cheers.